Tough talk and rhetoric have headlined the U.S. Secretary of State's first trip to Asia. And now Rex Tillerson turns his attention to Beijing, which has major concerns about a U.S.-made anti-missile system so close to China. It is meant to protect South Korea from any attacks by the North. I spoke with Associate Professor Dong Wang from Peking University about this, and I started by asking him about reports that Tillerson will threaten Chinese companies and banks with harsher sanctions if they keep doing business with Pyongyang.
Well, I think there has been some media report regarding that, and I'm sure that the Chinese government also, as it is currently doing right now, implementing the UN Security Council sanction very strictly. And of course, China takes those sanctions very seriously. So if there's evidence can be presented to the Chinese government and certain actors, players, companies, they did violate the rules or laws, I think that is something has to be just worked out between the two governments. But I'm sure that the Chinese government will take the sanction very seriously as it's currently doing now.
Let's talk about THAAD and the deployment of the U.S. anti-missile defense system in South Korea. China sees it as a threat. Is it because of fears that could be used to spy on China, or is it really something else?
China is not opposed to the interceptor itself, but what China is concerned about is this so-called, TPY-2 X-band radar, which potentially, if transformed into certain mode, so-called forward-based mode, it would have the capability to really undermine China's strategic nuclear deterrence capability. So that is, I think, the debate at the core.
So you're saying with that in the neighborhood, China is ramping up its deterrent and nuclear deterrent capabilities. So are we entering a new arms race in Asia?
Well, that's another, question why so many analysts and experts are actually quite concerned about the unfolding of the controversy over South deployment. And precisely, you're right. I think we are actually entering into a very unfortunately what we call a security dilemma, which is, or each party thinks the action they take is only for the purpose of their own defense or security, but which will be regarded by another party as offensive or aggressive. I think we are now entering into that there's increasing security dilemma, largely also caused by the decision by United States and South Korea to deploy South system. So I think this is a very unfortunate situation, but we have to figure out a way how to address that.
So to avoid a new arms race in Asia and to deter North Korea, is there anything that could be said and done over the weekend with these meetings between Rex Tillerson and his counterparts in Beijing?
It is very important for the United States also to understand that China is not taking, as many Western analysts actually suggest that doing not enough to put pressure on DPRK, and therefore let's try, this SAR system and as a way try to put pressure on China to do more. That kind of logic, I've heard that actually many times before, but I would argue that that kind of logic actually will very likely to backfire because many here in China, as you probably know very well, actually regard the deployment of SAR system as very aggressive, as potentially aiming at encircling, if not containing China. So that kind of view actually gets a lot of support here in China. So I think, and of course, Chinese leaders, China will be compelled to take actions, countermeasures, including the recalibration of its nuclear posture in order to protect its strategic interests.